The President's Diary is brought to you by the Media and Communications Unit of the Office of the President. Get your reviews and updates on the President's engagements, policy and priority programs. Subscribe to the State House newsletter, like and follow the State House of the Gambia on Facebook at Presidency Gambia, and follow the Twitter handle at Presidency_GMB. If you are a fan of YouTube, subscribe to the State House of the Gambia YouTube channel and get your updates at your convenience. Get more on the OP website www.op.gov.gm. Get informed, get enlightened, get factual information. The Media and Communications Unit, Office of the President, is your credible source on the presidency.
Have you been wondering about the daily work routine of the president?
I think every day when you wake up, go to the office and see whether the departments are responding to or taking part or doing their responsibility.
For someone who starts his day as early as 7:45 in the morning, is probably the busiest man in the country. In order to bring the presidency closer to the people, the Office of the President, in collaboration with GRTS, presents the President's Diary, a monthly TV program that highlights the President's official engagements in pursuit of the National Development Plan. Hello viewers, and welcome to this episode of the President's Diary. Coming up, President Adama Barrow laid the foundation stone for the $100 million Radisson Blu Hotel ahead of the OIC Summit. The President also toured ongoing construction works at the Banjul International Airport VVIP Lounge and major road infrastructure projects ongoing as part of preparations for the forthcoming OIC Summit in the Gambia. We will bring you this and many other engagements of the President in this episode. I'm your host, Zainab Fall, and thank you for joining us. His Excellency President Adama Barrow on July 23rd laid the foundation for the Radisson Blu Banjul 5-star hotel in Bijilo. The hotel is the single biggest investment in the tourism sector since independence. It is a $100 million OIC project that is set to significantly diversify tourism in the Gambia by opening up the country to the multi-million-dollar luxury hotel market. With 400 high-end rooms alongside 60 presidential and royal suites, the hotel will be one of its kind in the sub-region. In his statement during the colorful ceremony graced by senior government officials and members of the diplomatic and consular corps, President Barrow expressed delight about the prospects of the project.
It is with much honor and pride that I join you to lay the foundation stone for the eagerly awaited 5-star Radisson Blu Hotel. This is one of the major infrastructure development projects for the forthcoming OIC Heads of State and Government Summit to be hosted by the Gambia. I am particularly excited about the prospective impact of this mega project on lives and livelihoods in the country. With a portfolio of $100 million, this proposed 5-star hotel project is the single biggest investment in the tourism sector in the country since independence in 1965. More significantly, compared to other OIC Summit infrastructure projects, it is the single biggest investment portfolio ever of its kind on Gambian soil.
The President gave assurance that the Gambia will host the summit in a spectacular way. In the same spirit of successfully hosting the summit, President Adama Barrow embarked on a monitoring tour of the ongoing construction works at the Banjul International Airport and the OIC roads. His first stop was the presidential VVIP lounge at the Banjul International Airport, scheduled to be completed in November. The Minister of Works and Infrastructure, Honorable Ibrahim Silla, the CEO of OIC Secretariat, and the project consultants at ESGI took the President on a conducted tour of the facility. Following the completion of the tour, President Barrow expressed his satisfaction with the pace of work and intimated that it will be completed earlier than scheduled.
We are very happy to be here. This is part of the projects that are part of the OIC. And I can say we are running out of time. That's why I said I have to come and see for myself. The minister have been briefing me and technicians. But I said it's not enough, I have to come and see for myself. But so far, I'm very happy with the VIP launch, because the progress is like they are about 50-something%. According to the technicians, they are 2 months ahead of the time. So their target time to finish is around November. So far we are happy with that, and I think it's a very strong building, standard, international standard for that matter. But they are also discussing with other stakeholders to make sure that we don't make any mistake. And that's what we have been discussing. But so far, I think we are happy with the progress.
The President then proceeded to inspect the battle-hardened highway, where work is progressing steadily. Earlier in July, President Adama Barrow participated in the 61st Ordinary Session of the ECOWAS Heads of State and Government in Accra, Ghana, where the authority unanimously approved the nomination of Gambia's Dr. Toure as the new president of the ECOWAS Commission. President Barrow congratulated Dr. Toure on his nomination as the new president of the ECOWAS Commission for a 4-year mandate, describing Dr. Toure's nomination as a proud and historic moment for the Gambia. In the same month, President Barrow attended the 175th Independence Anniversary of the Republic of Liberia as a special guest of honor. In his address, President Barrow said unity and integration are essential for maintaining peace in the sub-region and the continent as a whole. He emphasized that Africa must concentrate on a new strategy of utilizing its human resources to maintain peace and promote development to raise the standard of living of its people. Here is an excerpt of his speech.
I congratulate Your Excellency, President George Mane Weah, the government and the people of Liberia most heartily on the auspicious occasion of your country's 175th Independence Anniversary. It is indeed with great honor and joy that I am here at your kind invitation as special guest on this historic event. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have noted with appreciation the theme of this celebration, fostering unity, protecting our peace for development and prosperity. Is not only relevant, but also quite suitable for the occasion. These are times when Africa is looking inward to maximize the use of our human and material resources for peace, development, prosperity, and better quality of life for our people. To achieve this, the need for cooperation and progress is obviously most urgent. Thus, as we call for unity and African integration, we must give priority to sustaining peace in the sub-region and the entire continent. Further to this, we must use our resources more wisely and effectively for much faster development, better social services, and greater empowerment of our youth and women for self-reliance.
President Barrow concluded that Africans are better off devoting our time, resources, and knowledge to devise better strategies, develop our skills further, and support one another for development and prosperity. Viewers, you're watching the President's Diary, brought to you by the Media and Communications Unit at the Presidency. Still on the engagements of the President, President Adama Barrow on July 5th inaugurated the Gambia's first clinical waste management plant at the Emergency Treatment Center in Farato, West Coast region. The plant will treat medical waste from hospitals, laboratories, and other health facilities to avoid contamination. In his address at the occasion, the President said burning and dumping medical waste has severe health hazards as it releases harmful substances and contaminates water bodies. Here is an excerpt of his speech.
This is a spectacular event, noting that it comprises the commissioning of the EcoSteril 250 waste treatment plant in Farato and the EcoSteril 75 plant at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital. The project is one of several important projects funded by the World Bank within the health sector. Today's program marks a prominent milestone in the healthcare delivery system of our beloved country, and it highlights the fruitful relationship between my government and the World Bank. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, medical waste is harmful material produced by hospitals, health centers, clinics, laboratories, and other health facilities, and must be properly treated and discarded to avoid contamination. As health experts know very well, burning medical waste releases harmful substances that can cause health problems. Dumping it in open dump sites, as people do, may result in the contamination of water bodies. The introduction of modern waste treatment methods is therefore one of the most important strategies for infection prevention and control.
The plant is a result of a fruitful relationship between the Gambia government and the World Bank. As part of the Accelerated Urban Transport Initiative, President Adama Barrow on 30th July commissioned over 30 new buses meant to ease movement within the urban areas. The President addressed the gathering, describing the event as a giant leap in the history of vehicular transportation in the country. Here is an excerpt.
Today marks another milestone in the history of vehicular transportation in the country, as we launch the Urban Transport Initiative, for which we are here to inaugurate 38 brand new buses. 33 of the buses are exclusively for urban transport services, while the remaining 5 are operational support to the Urban Transport Initiative project. This development cannot come at a better time, considering the recent significant improvements on our road infrastructure network and the growing traffic congestion in the Greater Banjul area. Despite the government's achievements in this sector, the need to complement road infrastructure development with proper road transport operations is obvious. History teaches that For any country to improve its transport services, public transport services, particularly in urban settings, must be efficient and responsibly managed. This urban transport initiative illustrates the national development plan's recognition of the important role public transport services contribute towards the national economy. Acting on this recognition, my government will steadfastly seek to improve the transport sector through all relevant stakeholders, especially the operatives within it. Recently, we established the Department of Transport at the Ministry of Transport, Works and Infrastructure to assume oversight responsibility of policy and regulation of road transport and other related subsectors.
While applauding the Gambia Transport Services Company and the Q Group for their collaboration in facilitating the acquisition of the buses, the President stated that given GTS's safety records, the initiative would reduce the high rate of road accidents to the bare minimum.
The President's Diary is brought to you by the Media and Communications Unit of the Office of the President. Get your reviews and updates on the President's engagements, policy and priority programs. Subscribe to the State House newsletter, like and follow the State House of the Gambia on Facebook at Presidency Gambia, and follow the Twitter handle at Presidency_GMB. If you are a fan of YouTube, subscribe to the State House of the Gambia YouTube channel and get your updates at your convenience. Get more on the OP website www.op.gov.gm. Get informed, get enlightened, get factual information. The Media and Communications Unit, Office of the President, is your credible source on the presidency.
The Gambia University of Applied Sciences, Engineering and Technology is the first in the country to offer degree programs in engineering and related fields. In July, President Adamo Barrow laid the foundation for the construction of 3 faculty blocks in Brikama, West Coast region. In his inaugural statement, President Barrow said the event is a high profile on his government's drive to transform education by providing quality and relevant tertiary and higher education to all Gambians. Here is an excerpt.
In the past, only a selected few had access to higher education. However, through the National Qualifications Framework, the education system now provides pathways that allow students from grade 9 to choose careers in technical vocational education and training Tibet and other educational programs. Expanding such opportunities has made it necessary to establish a university system in the applied sciences, engineering, and technology, hence the significance of the occasion. From now on, students who choose to become engineers and architects can proceed beyond the higher national diploma HND level to pursue degree programs in engineering and related disciplines at UCED. We thank the World Bank for the foresight in designing a program linked to Africa Center of Excellence, SCE, initiative to positively influence development. The reality is that Africa must depend on its institutions to develop our human resource and stimulate economic growth and development. With a project that builds the capacity of institutions to train African youth on African soil, using modern approaches and equipment, we can look forward to a new Africa that is able and ready to tackle its challenges. The only regret is that it has taken far too long to undertake this educational venture. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me stress that my government will continue to prioritize the development of the University of the Gambia, UTG, and we endorse the efficient mechanism adopted to integrate 3 schools of the Gambia College into the UTG.
President Barrow said the development in higher education came alongside teacher training, education, and management, which now has a new dimension that creates avenues for higher levels of qualification leading to degree programs. He called on parents and caregivers to encourage their children, especially the girls, to enroll in a university for engineering and other STEM programs. Still on the President's activities in July, President Barrow received at the State House a key bestowed on him by the Integral University of Lucknow in Uttar Pradesh State, India, for restoring and maintaining democracy in the Gambia. The Vice President, His Excellency Badara A. Juve, presented the key to the President at a moderate ceremony held at the State House. The university also awarded an honorary degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Human Letters honoris causa to the President. Receiving the key, President Barrow thanked the Integral University for the honor and for recognizing his efforts in strengthening democracy in the Gambia and respect for the rule of law. He said the award encourages him to redouble his efforts in these and other facets of governance. At a ceremony held at the State House in Banjul, President Adama Barrow presented the battle flag to the Gambia athletics team representing the country at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, England. President Barrow applauded the progress of the Gambian sports and encouraged the athletes to put forth their best efforts in order to raise the country's flag higher. He urged them to unite and serve as Gambia's ambassadors.
I will just give few words of wisdom, especially to our athletes. I want you to have that self-belief in you. You are already champions. I want you to represent the Gambia, to be the ambassadors of the Gambia, be disciplined, but not allowed to be intimidated by big countries. Sports is very big in the world, and sportsmen and women can represent their country at the highest level as ambassadors. If you talk about Sadio Mane or Mo Salah, they are ambassadors for their country. They make their countries very famous. So you are very important and you represent the Gambia. I will thank the GNOC. To manage young people is difficult. But we have seen that Gambia have been progressing of recent in sports. Today, we are the volleyball champions in Africa. We are the 200 meters champion in Africa. This is very big. A small country like Gambia. If we are doing very well in Africa, then the opportunity is there for us to be doing very well in the world. But one thing is very important. If you are in sport or whatever you are doing in life, you have to be confident of yourself. That self-confidence must be there. And work as a team. Working as a team is key to success. And I think the GNOC president and the honorable minister, their working relationship is paying off for this country. And we want to assure you as a government, as president, that the political will to support sports in this country is very, very high. Our commitment to support sports is more than 100%. And we want the results. We want you to bring results for us because you have your fans back home here.
Still on the President's engagement, President Adama Barrow presided over the official opening of the Association of African Central Banks Assembly of Governors held at the Saroda Karaba International Conference Center in Bijilo. President Barrow described the theme Digital Innovations and the Future of Financial Sector as timely, given that the continent is moving towards adopting a single currency and a common central bank.
The objectives of the Association of African Central Bank Governors to promote cooperation on monetary, banking and financial matters in Africa are commendable. They conform with the principles of the African Union Free Trade Area established to integrate African economies. With this in mind, we eagerly look forward to the results of your discussions, especially the review of the effectiveness of our international economic and financial institutions. In the meantime, I commend the Association for devising an integrated continental payment system. I understand that you achieve it through the establishment of the African Interregional Payment Integration Task Force, working groups and expert panels tasked to guide the monitoring and implementation of the project. I have noted as well that all this were achieved in collaboration with the Africa Export-Import Bank, Africa Exchange Bank. In this regard, I thank the bank most sincerely in appreciation of their collaboration. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, digital innovations have impressively transformed the global financial landscape with the emergence of digital wallets, mobile transfers, blockchain technologies, and interconnected payment systems. This development has the potential to scale up and speed up Africa's economic development through financial inclusion, economics of scale, and lower transaction costs, among others. Such innovations are critical factors for fiscal policy development, as they create opportunities for central banks to consider use of digital currencies. I understand, however, that this comes with regulatory challenges. This notwithstanding, we are confident that this team of central bank governors will diligently examine all relevant options and advise us accordingly.
Viewers, before we wrap up this episode of the President's Diary, let's take a look at the President's tour to assess the damages caused by the floods that occurred late in the month of July. President Barrow was accompanied by some cabinet ministers, officials from the Kanifing and Brikama municipal councils, as well as senior officials from the National Disaster Management Agency. The floods left many people homeless, destroying livestock and properties in KM and Brikama areas. Speaking to the media at one of his stops, President Barrow said the government will take all the necessary steps to ensure that the drainage system in the country is fixed. He announced that the government is about to launch a $46 million climate resilience project. The President also visited the installation of work at the Bond Road water pumping machine, where new machines were installed. When fixed, each machine will pump 2,400 million liters of water per hour. He personally donated 20 new pumping machines to the youth of Tobacco Road in Banjul. Viewers, that story brings us to the end of this episode of the President's Diary. This is a program that is brought to you by the Media and Communications Unit to showcase and highlight activities of the President in pursuit of national development goals. So from the MCU team, we're saying a big thank you for the pleasure of your company. I have been your presenter, Zainab Fall, and thanks. See you again for another exciting episode of this program.
The President's Diary is brought to you by the Media and Communications Unit of the Office of the President. Get your reviews and updates on the President's engagements, policy and priority programs. Subscribe to the State House newsletter, like and follow the State House of the Gambia on Facebook at Presidency Gambia, and follow the Twitter handle at Presidency_GMB. If you are a fan of YouTube, subscribe to the State House of the Gambia YouTube channel and get your updates at your convenience. Get more on the OP website www.op.gov.gm. Get informed, get enlightened, get factual information. The Media and Communications Unit, Office of the President, is your credible source on the Presidency.